So it's no secret that most people find local businesses like restaurants, plumbers, hairstylists. Most people find that using their phone these days. So voice search is becoming more and more prevalent and more important. And here's a couple ways I think you can improve your voice search by using NLP. So what is NLP? This is natural language processing. So basically it's a way to better understand the meaning of words. It's explained in this article here. But it's Google's way to make those kind of natural connections between certain words used and their meaning. So if somebody searches how much do plumbers charge near me, they're going to want to look for a response that is exactly that, right? It's plumbers charge this X amount of money. And by doing that more kind of natural response, you're basically feeding the answer directly to Google, which they can feed the consumer directly. And you're probably asking, well, what's the benefit of all this? The benefit of all this is you can end up with results that show up in here. So this is the people also asked section of Google. You could also have them show up in the featured snippet section, which is even better. These, of course, are the areas where you search for a term and they're the first things you see. So these show up above the other results down here. And the really effective way to get into these places is by utilizing NLP to your advantage. So in this case here, we have how much do plumbers charge per hour? And you can see here, they're using this result. So what do most plumbers charge per hour? And you can see the price ranges between $45 and $200. And they picked that text from this paragraph here that is more or less using NLP to generate the response. So if you click into the article, let's open the link here. We can see exactly what they're doing. So they have it under a subheader called the cost of hiring a plumber. So right there, it's basically grabbing Google and saying, hey, look here, this is exactly what we're answering. There's make no bones about it. This is the most exact response you can get for this query. So it's under this header. The paragraph text itself is pretty much a direct response, right? And when I say a direct response, I mean, typically you want to answer these kind of queries with, what is the cost of hiring a plumber? Your response would be, the cost of hiring a plumber is blank. And then you respond it with a really exact answer. So that's kind of what they're doing here. A little more covert than that, but basically, right? They're saying the cost of hiring a plumber, depending on the state, cost of hiring a plumber might vary. Typically, plumbers are subject to an hourly rate. So here's where they get into the response, right? Now, you could be a little bit more direct with it and say, the cost of hiring a plumber depends on your state, but typically they're subject to an hourly rate. But that's kind of splitting hairs semantically. They're still giving you a response based on that natural language processing that we were talking about, and it's helped them get into the people also asked section. By the way, this is a really nice extension here called Keywords Everywhere. It's super affordable, only a few bucks for like 1,000 credits or something. And this gives you a lot of different keyword ideas, a lot of long tail ideas. And a good way to kind of test this is to just click through some of these. So you can click on how much does plumbing cost for a new house, right? And you can see it's a similar kind of outcome here, right? Plumbing cost for new construction. So they answer it right away. Plumbing costs $8,000 to $12,000 for a new construction. They're getting straight to the point. And typically when you're writing content now, you want to get straight to the point. You don't want to have it bloviate and have this huge introduction and then like you get to the answer somewhere down within, after the first 2,000 words. You want to get to it right away, and you want to prioritize those search terms that really will move the needle for you on that page to answer those as quickly as you possibly can. This is becoming more and more prevalent, not only because of natural language processing, but because people are just looking at everything on mobile. They don't want to read through a whole article. They want to just find that answer immediately. So having the response at the very, very top is key. And another easy way to do that is to have a key takeaways section. So if you have a post that is a little bit longer, but you realize, well, I need to answer these questions fairly quickly, you want to have a key takeaways section, which is like a summary that you put at the top of the post. And within that, you can answer the questions that you deem the most important right off the bat. It's going to help you a lot with the user experience, and it's going to help you check those NLP boxes. And hopefully it's going to land you in the people also asked section or in a feature snippet. which would be fantastic because you can get a lot of nice traffic that way, especially for higher level searches or, upper funnel searches where people are looking for that kind of baseline information, like what does this cost? What are the factors that go into this? Things like that. So from a topical standpoint too, the other part of it is topical authority. Topical authority, we have other videos talking about that. But basically topical authority is the fact that a website needs to become kind of the overarching topic home, authority home of a certain topic. So by answering all these questions, you are becoming more of a topical authority. You are covering all the different sort of subtopics within that main topic, and it's going to help you rank for a lot more keywords and a lot more concepts than normally. So, and it's also going to help you ultimately rank for those more competitive keywords too, because you're providing more of that like underpinning knowledge, and then you can internally link and boost those top level pieces of content as well. So NLP is here to stay, but it's really not a hard thing to get a grasp of. You just have to think of it in terms of how do I answer the questions as quickly as possible, right? And the basic structure is this, blah, blah, blah is this, right? So the cost of plumbing is this. How do you do gardening? Gardening is done by blank. Like just answering those things right away is, ultimately the way you rank for this stuff, and it's going to be more and more prevalent as we do mobile. As mobile becomes more and more prevalent, and voice searches as well. How do you do gardening? I don't think that's something that people would search for, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I hope this helped, and let us know if you have any questions.